As a long-time visual novel reader, I've read and played through many amazing works that taught me something valuable, others that delivered a thrilling experience portraying a rich exploration of themes, characters, and compelling narratives that challenge, inspire, and resonate. One of the many things I enjoy in storytelling are narratives that delve into dark, thought-provoking, and psychological themes that often explore other subcategories like tragedy, horror, existentialism, moral ambiguity, and noir. The visual novel equivalent term for things like these would be utsuge. Utsuge is a subgenre of visual novels that translate to depressing game. One of the best examples of this would be something like Kara no Shoujo. The overarching tone of the game was always so depressing and gray, for lack of a better word. It felt like the game intentionally wanted to make you feel down. And even with the unforgettable stories I've experienced, there's always more to discover as VNs encompass such a vast medium. I cannot say I've seen about everything there is to be read. Far from that, actually. Many visual novels sit in my never-ending backlog that takes almost an eternity to get to, given the pace that I take in order to play through one, but that's besides the point. In all these years of playing through VNs, there's one genre I never quite explored: Otome games. Otome games are a type of visual novel that appeal to a broader female audience. I've previously avoided it because I didn't think there'd be anything I would be interested in reading. But how wrong I was, until I was introduced to a game that checked all the boxes I had for my utsuge niche. And that game is Virche Evermore Error Salvation. Virche is definitely one of those games that takes itself seriously, creating this heavy atmosphere that is immediately noticeable upon first exposure. It has a way of using music, imagery, and context clues that conveys to the player that this game has dark undertones and prides itself in its despairing nature. It's clear to me that Virche Evermore is most definitely an utsuge. In fact, a good friend of mine calls this game Despair, the Otome, and we'll see why. Virche Evermore Error Salvation is a VN that tells the story of a small and secluded island nation called Arpechelle. The story follows our female lead, Ceres, who is orphaned after the death of her parents. Throughout her childhood, she was involved in many fatal incidents with other people, and each and every time, she came out as the only survivor. The people of Arpechelle feared and denigrated her as death, accusing her of destruction everywhere she goes. Arpechelle also harbors a dirty secret, one in which the country is cursed. The curse compels every person born and living on the island to die at the age of 23. Combined with the rumors that tarnish Ceres' reputation, people believe she is a bad omen that accelerates the effects of the curse. Traversing through the VN, we uncover the mystery behind the curse. What's causing people to die at the young age of 23? Why Ceres is admonished as death incarnate, and other unexplained series of events plaguing Arpechelle, namely death itself. As we delve into the character routes, the story expands beyond the central mystery, using each route to explore profound themes of despair, identity, and the human condition through the unique struggles and perspectives of its cast. There are many characters in the game, but we'll focus on the main ones: Ceres, our protagonist, and the love interests: Mathis Claude, Lucas Proust, Cian Brofiose, Yves Norge, Adolphe, and Anku. These characters and their routes all explore different meanings to despair and the struggles they deal with, and the relevancies of their stories in the greater narrative. Ceres' character explores the issue of self-hatred and low self-esteem, coming to terms with the forced scapegoating she's subjected to by Arpechellian society. If people repeat a lie so much, it eventually becomes the truth, even to the victim. How does one navigate life or maintain hope, condemned by those around them? Other routes may deal with the question of what it means to be human. What constitutes a human being and the legitimacy thereof? One thing I haven't mentioned yet is that, due to the curse, Arpechelle, led by efforts of one of the main love interests, Cian Brofiose, created a technology that is able to create a genetic clone of a person, transferring their memories to that body after death in order to live another 23 years. To what extent do we draw the line between someone preserving life and trying to play God? To what extent do we consider someone or something human? Is it the memories, the body, emotions? How does developing this technology serve to connect to the overall narrative? Others may deal with the issue of personal agency, maintaining a facade, explore the human instinct for self-preservation and the relentless pursuit to defend and protect those who you love, all the while being powerless to do so. It's a multitude of themes that Virche Evermore explores, all leading to despairing ends. Or does it? If these themes seem compelling to you, then I highly recommend checking this Otome game out. And never mind the narrative and themes, just look at the beautiful art. It speaks for itself, perfectly adding to the melancholic atmosphere the game gives off. Like other visual novels, the gameplay is what you'd expect. You traverse the story, eventually ending up at a crossroads where you must make a choice. However, there is one interesting feature in Virche, a very subtle one. There are times when you make a choice and it'll eventually lead you to an abrupt dead end, or as Virche calls it, a despair end. You typically can tell because the screen becomes disoriented for a split second, indicating that you've been locked into one. It's quite an interesting feature and I think makes this VN, despite what it seems to look like on the outside, very beginner friendly. At least, if you don't mind the amount of despair you'll come across. In regards to the types of endings you can get, there are two. Despair ends, which are a mixture of dead ends and normal endings you get after completing a route, and salvation ends. Essentially, you can view these salvation ends as true endings for each route, which is only obtained after you complete the final act's despair end. Virche Evermore Error Salvation is more than just a game. It's a deeply moving experience that immerses you in a world of despair, mystery, and thought-provoking themes. From its captivating storytelling to its beautifully melancholic art and atmospheric music, Virche masterfully pulls you into its narrative, leaving you reflecting on its characters and the questions it dares to ask. Whether you're a seasoned visual novel reader or someone looking to explore something new, Virche Evermore has something unique to offer. It's a game that challenges you emotionally, rewards you with compelling revelations, and stays with you long after the credits roll. So, if you're like me and enjoy stories that dive into the darker corners of human nature while still offering glimpses of hope and redemption, don't sleep on Virche Evermore Error Salvation. Give it a try, and you just might find yourself falling for despair, the Otome.